Guys, welcome back to this lesson. In this lesson, we will start building our backend server using a Python framework called Flask. Now, Flask makes it really easy to build REST APIs because some of the functionality it provides built in. Now, assuming you followed the instructions before the video, you would have installed the virtual environment command line tool. And if you have, then follow these instructions to create a new Flask project. First, create a directory that will hold our Flask project. We will first move into the desktop, then create a new directory and name it to do list backend. Then we will move into the to do list backend directory, and in this directory we'll create a few files. The first file we want to create is the app.py file, which this file will hold all the business logic, everything required to make the API run. The next file we want to add is the requirements.txt file. This file will contain a list of all the dependencies required to run this Flask application. So if we add any dependencies, we'll have to add this to this file using a special command which I will teach you. The next thing we want to do is enable the virtual environment for this directory. We will type in virtual env and name the virtual environment directory something. So we will name it venv. Then we will activate the virtual directory by running the binary file inside the venv directory called activate. Once you run that, you will see that you will have venv written over here, which means that your virtual environment is currently active. Now, what does a virtual environment do? It makes your application folder a separate container and it maintains the dependencies for that separate container independently, so it doesn't meddle with the dependencies that you have installed globally. So it makes it much more cleaner and much less prone to dependency mismatch errors and all that. The next thing we want to do is install our packages, our Python modules. So to install our packages, we will type in pip install and then the name of the packages. The first package we want to install is Flask, which is the web framework itself. Then we need to install Flask SQL Alchemy, and we need to install another package called scop g2, and we press enter. This will install our dependencies for us. And once we have our dependencies, I'll open up code, Visual Studio Code in this directory. As you can see, we have our files and folders here. This venv folder contains all the virtual environment requirement files, so you don't have to meddle with this. This app.py is the file that will contain our API application, and this requirements.txt file is the file that contains the list of requirements. As you can see right now, there's nothing inside this file because we haven't added anything to it. And to do that, we will add the currently installed dependencies or modules through a command called pip freeze. Now if I just simply run pip freeze, it gives me a list of dependencies that are installed on this virtual environment. To add this to the requirements.txt file, you have to simply type pip freeze and the greater than symbol followed by the name of the file, that is requirements.txt. Press enter. Now if I load up requirements.txt, you can see that we have this list of modules that we require for this application. So this was the basic folder structure of our backend application. In the next video, we'll be building the basic routes that will be required for our application. So see you there.